Tom Sawyer Island. Tom Sawyer Island, I believe, is a treasure, both at Walt Disney World and at Disneyland. And I am starting to get a little bit worried, my friends. I mean, it's going away at Walt Disney World. We know that for sure. But I'm getting nervous now about Disneyland. I'm getting a little bit anxious, okay? Now, what you're about to see is me, about a month ago, walking around Tom Sawyer Island at Disneyland, sort of a little bit rambling about the state of the island and how we can preserve it, how me and you can work together to keep Tom Sawyer Island around. And while it may not make a ton of sense while I'm walking around and rambling, I ask that you stay for just a little bit longer because I will be showing up intermittently throughout the ramble sesh on Tom Sawyer Island to talk about what I mean more in depth, with more script writing, official, thought out dialogue. So imagine this. You're a young, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, offhand Disney walking around New Orleans Square at Disneyland circa about 3 weeks ago. I remember it like it was yesterday, even though it was about 3 weeks ago. Ah, yes. Look at how beautiful it is. I don't even have to worry about it going away anytime soon. This is a beautiful sight. Ish. Kind of. Let me explain. But first we have to actually go to the island. I can't just look at it from afar and tell you what the problem is. I have to show you. Oh yeah. Not yet though. Not yet. Part of the ship, part of the crew. Part of the ship, part of the crew. Part of the ship, part of the crew.
Who dared steal my gold? It was you! Go on, find your own treasure!
So here we find ourselves at the Pirate's Lair at Tom Sawyer Island. What once was going to be a giant Jean Lafitte themed expansion for New Orleans Square was sort of sized down and became a sort of miniature retheme of Tom Sawyer Island. And the caves are the best part, if you ask me. All of the interactive elements are amazing. But unfortunately, I don't know, I think they might be the best element for Tom Sawyer Island because the rest is starting to fall apart, almost quite literally, and it makes me very, very sad and worried. Allow me, my friends, to show you.
The ship needs a captain. Part of the ship, part of the crew.
Alright, well, like a whole new pirate man when I come out of there. So right now we find ourselves on Tom Sawyer Island at Disneyland. And it's, I was gonna say underappreciated, but there are a ton of people here right now, so maybe this whole video is for nothing. But Tom Sawyer Island is underappreciated at Disneyland, maybe, and is especially underappreciated at Disney World. Not a lot of people visit Tom Sawyer Island at Walt Disney World, and so they're tearing it out and replacing it with cars. Horrible idea, really, if you ask me, but that's neither here nor there. We've talked about it. I'm gonna talk about this. That's pretty gross, right? To me, my friends, the main problem with Tom Sawyer Island at Disneyland and the Magic Kingdom seems to be the lack of incentive to visit. There isn't really much more of an incentive other than a quiet place to escape in the middle of the day and a place where kids can run around and have a lot of fun. I think there needs to be a third thing in there. I don't know what that third thing is. I'm going to suggest a few things here in a second, but it needs a third thing. You see, the island at Walt Disney World at the Magic Kingdom actually used to contain a restaurant, Aunt Polly's, and while Aunt Polly's wasn't anything to really write home about, it was a place to get away in the middle of the day and enjoy a meal. Aunt Polly's has been closed for quite some time now. Because you see, when the Disney parks closed down in 2020 for COVID-19, everything within them also obviously closed as well, including Aunt Polly's. The problem here is that after COVID, after park reopening, when things were still just sort of coming up, slowly reopening, Aunt Polly's never did. Other restaurants, yes, would take longer to reopen than others, but Aunt Polly's would remain closed and shuttered, with a few vending machines covering up what used to be part of the restaurant. It's gone now, and it won't reopen. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that Aunt Polly's was the best quick service restaurant Disney has ever done. It was no Bengal barbecue by any stretch of the imagination, but they had refreshments, they had drinks, PB&J sandwiches, a little bit of barbecue here and there, some pretzels, just a little way to get a snack somewhere quiet and relax and enjoy the Liberty Bell going around the rivers of America, the ambiance of the Haunted Mansion in Frontierland and Splash Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain. All of Frontierland and Liberty Square were yours to enjoy. And now we have to confront the fact that without food, Tom Sawyer Island is nothing. That was the third thing. Maybe not the best food ever, but it was something. I think if we were to reopen Aunt Polly's, either at Disneyland or Walt Disney World, with a solid killer menu, you get the incentive to visit the island rather than just, if you want to go somewhere quiet and nice, which a lot of people should just want to go there anyway, there is that extra little thing to entice people over to the island and taking the rafts. But remember, just bear in mind, it doesn't have to be a restaurant. I just know that Tom Sawyer Island needs that third thing to stay alive. Okay, transitioning back to Disneyland. What is the problem with Disneyland's Tom Sawyer Island right now? As you can tell from that previous segment of me running through the caves, yelling part of the ship, part of the crew, it's a lot of fun here. And I think it needs more attention. And not just from Disney, but also from us. Here, the guest. I think it's in a very bad spot right now. A spot where not a ton of people go to Tom Sawyer Island, except for on days like today. Except for on days like today, where it's extremely crowded. And so Disney doesn't put money into the upkeep of Tom Sawyer Island. And then it's a vicious cycle where they don't put money into the upkeep because people don't go. And people don't go because they don't put money into the upkeep. And there's your problem. You have it right there. This rope bridge is real bouncy. I'm kind of digging it. One of the most popular pieces of discussion when it came to Disney replacing the Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island with a Cars-themed mini expansion to Frontierland is that it's fine. Nobody goes to Tom Sawyer Island anyway. There's no problem with taking it out if it's being underutilized, but it's kind of a snake eating its own tail situation here. Disney didn't take care of Tom Sawyer Island, whether that be just giving guests that third reason to visit or just general maintenance and upkeep. And so why bother putting money into this area year after year after year if nobody's going to visit it? And so nobody visits it because Disney doesn't put money into it, if that sort of makes sense. And part of me is worried that Disney is using this lack of upkeep, this excuse that nobody uses the island, as an excuse to get rid of it at Disney World because they didn't want to do anything with it. And it might be a reason why in the future they could get rid of it here at Disneyland, and I don't want that to happen. I don't think we'd ever lose the Rivers of America here, although I didn't think we'd ever lose the Rivers of America at the Magic Kingdom. So I guess you never truly know. But I don't want to lose Tom Sawyer Island. It just needs a budget. Now, I'm not trying to give anybody any ideas of what they should retheme Tom Sawyer Island to. I'm just showing this clip right here. Just take that in, enjoy it, let that sit, think about that for a second, and now we move on. Look at this tree. One trunk splits into two. See, they don't have that at Cars Land. They could never have that at Cars Land. And, you know, half the island is closed off. So there's not really even a point to visiting half of it. You can't even visit Lafitte's Tavern. And what's the point in visiting a pirate-themed island if you can't visit Lafitte's Tavern? It's kind of a sad state Tom Sawyer Island finds itself in at Disneyland. And I need you, my friend, you and me and all of my friends out there to help fix this problem. You can fix this problem by just going to Tom Sawyer Island. Showing Disney that this island is worth the money, worth the investment, worth the custodial effort to keep open, operating. They got soaked. For the near future, or for the far future, for the next 70 years of Disneyland, show them that Tom Sawyer Island is worth it, lest we go the way of the McQueen, the Lightning McQueen, and I don't want that to happen. Will the Cars expansion at Magic Kingdom most likely be a solid addition? Yeah, it'll add capacity, and there are more Cars fans than there are Tom Sawyer Island fans. Will it be fun? Yeah. Will the food probably be good? Yeah, the food will probably be delicious. Will it, by the looks of it and the rumors, have a brand new ride system for its e-ticket attraction? Yeah, it will. But I like this. Why can't they coexist? Why can't we all just be friends? I've yet to move into the acceptance phase. I probably will when they end up filling in the rivers, but I think the reason for Disney World abandoning the rivers and Tom Sawyer Island entirely were avoidable. Just because Tom Sawyer Island doesn't generate any Lightning Lane passes or 60-minute queues doesn't mean it's not worth it. And we, as Disney fans, in order to keep the rivers of America and the island, just need to do a little work and just visit the island just once or twice. Each of you watching this video, just visit it. Enjoy your time here. This looks like a nice quiet little path. This looks fun. I don't know, I feel like Disney is using the lack of people visiting the island and the lack of queues to get on the island as a reason to not care for it. The still water everywhere, half of the facilities being closed, sometimes the caves are open, sometimes they're not, and sometimes if they are open, they're not working. It's all just very weird. You can tell that a while ago they tried to give it a little bit of life with the Pirates theme, and I honestly think it has helped. Even now, a lot of people are liking the Pirates theme. But will it be enough? You never know what might happen after the 70th. Disney waited until after the 50th to announced that they were closing down Tom Sawyer Island there, so you never truly know what lies in store for an area at Disney. What is this? Is that the cursed treasure? I guess you have to treasure it while you can. Otherwise they're gonna close it and replace it with Radiator Springs. So if I could speak directly for just a moment to you, right there, Joe Disney, the person in charge of running operations at Tom Sawyer Island or at Disneyland, I don't know exactly how that's split up. Just please open up the rest of the island, take the barriers away once it's safe. We don't want anybody getting in any horrible accidents again. I remember that whole dragon episode, that was pretty crazy. But you need to get that island operating to 100% efficiency as quickly as possible. Clean up some of the still gross algae water and make sure all of the effects and I guess sort of toys, around the island are working. All of the interactive elements, make sure all of that is up and running, and then we can have talks about how we can further improve Tom Sawyer Island. Put a restaurant, maybe just move Bengal Barbecue. If you moved Bengal Barbecue to Tom Sawyer Island, I would be visiting that island at least 5 to 6 times a visit. And my visits are only 2 days long. But now I think it's time for me to be catching a raft back. Tom Sawyer Island, a classic. You should enjoy it. Disney should fix it. Disney should fix it. Look at that. That's disgusting. And this one doesn't even have a mill, right? The Disney World one had the mill with the water wheel. Oh, there's the water wheel. Forget what I just said. They're both really good, Tom Sawyer Island is. It's a shame. It truly is. can't even visit Jean Lafitte at his tavern. Not even at Lafitte's own tavern. Now, I don't want to say Disney's sabotaging Tom Sawyer Island. I don't want to say that they sabotaged it at the Magic Kingdom. It is a quieter, slower place to visit in the middle of the day. And if you know me, you know that's a thing that I quite enjoy. That's why they should reopen a sort of person conveying attraction in Tomorrowland at Disneyland. But my friends, I digress. What do you think about the current state of Tom Sawyer Island at Disneyland? Have you ever been to it at Walt Disney World? Are you going to miss it? And also, how does Cars look to you? Does Cars look like good or does it look bad? Because I'm very much in the middle. I think it looks fine, but then it's also replacing the rivers, so that makes me a little bit sad. And now, my friends, I will leave you with potentially the fourth thing that Tom Sawyer Island needs, and I guess it does already have: character interactions. Character interactions on Tom Sawyer Island. Get more characters on the island so guests can meet them. Maybe have Tom Sawyer himself, or potentially even Captain Jack Sparrow. I remember it like it was yesterday, except it was 3 weeks ago. Still.
Oh man, hang in there, man. Hang in there. Only 79 miles left to walk. Thank you for the salute. I appreciate it. Go on, Jack. Appreciate it, man. Happy Christmas. This will be the day that
Hello there, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching this video on the state of, decline, and eventual closure of Tom Sawyer Island at Walt Disney World, and the state and sort of decline of Tom Sawyer Island at Disneyland. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button, and if you're new around here and want more videos like this one, where I just go all in on Disney and call them the worst company in the world, and it's definitely not trying to be constructive, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you. Getting a little carried away here. If you want to do more than subscribe, though, you can also head over to my Patreon. For even just $1 a month, you will get access to most of the perks, including access to a new video I have coming out hopefully this weekend called, maybe not called, but it's about the differences of Tiana's Bayou Adventure at Disneyland versus Walt Disney World, and which one I prefer, which one I think is superior. If that sounds interesting to you, again, over there at Patreon, they will be the only ones to see that video. So if you want to watch the Tiana's Bayou Adventure comparison video, you have to be a patron. However, if you'd rather follow me for free, you absolutely can on Blue Sky, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. I am at Offhand Disney on all of those websites, and I'll be going to Disneyland soon. I'm refreshing that calendar, that Magic Key calendar, for the 16th of May for the 70th anniversary. Very excited. I am hoping to see all of you, my friends, there. If I can't get a reservation, dang it, I'll buy a ticket. And upon further research, all of the passes are blocked out, so I guess I will be buying a ticket. Everybody, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.